What's up, everybody? Jadde Rowe here with the Living in Minneapolis channel. Today we're going to talk about some of the best areas to live in the Minneapolis and surrounding suburbs. So stay tuned. Hey again, guys, my name is Jadde Rowe. If this is your first time to the channel, just want to let you know that I am a licensed realtor in the state of Minnesota. I'm helping tons and tons of families make a move within the state or from a different state. So if I can be of any service to you, I would love to help you. I was born and raised in Minnesota. I know it extremely well, like the back of my hand, and I would love to be of service to you. So reach out. My contact information will be down below. Also, there's a link in the first line of the description in this video. You can absolutely book a call with me directly there if that's easier. But anyways, let's get into this. So when we're talking about the best areas to live in the Minneapolis area, I get asked that question a lot, whether someone's moving from a different state or they're making a move within the state. Hey Jay, what are some of the best areas I should look at? Well, that's a pretty broad question. There's a lot of things that we could look at, but some of the places that I generally like to go is a website called niche.com. Niche.com is an awesome website. It gives you information on average price points, gives you information on crime, it gives you information on schools. We're going to use a little bit of niche.com, and then we're also going to basically just I'm going to tell you kind of my personal opinion, some of the best areas that I really like as a person who's lived in Minnesota my entire life. So these are going to be some of the suburbs that I totally recommend checking out if you are wanting to buy a home in the Minnesota-Minneapolis area. All right, so to get started, number one on our list is going to be St. Louis Park. St. Louis Parks has a A+ niche.com report. So if you go to niche.com, it'll give you basically a report or, almost like a grade for that suburb or city. For St. Louis Park, it got an A+, which is awesome, right? But let's break that down a little bit more. So the average or median, home value according to niche.com was $308,000, right? And the average year built is 1961. So St. Louis Park has a little bit smaller homes overall. They're older, 1960s build. There are a lot of 1.5-story homes, not tons of 2-story homes. You have the 1.5-story, you have the homes where you don't really have a formal dining room. You might have an eat-in kitchen. If you do have a formal dining room, that's going to be a pricier home. The awesome thing about St. Louis Park, though, is it is near everything. It's really close to downtown. You have Excelsior Boulevard, which has awesome restaurants, and it has shopping, and it has grocery centers, it has gyms, it has everything that you want. It's a really awesome spot and very cool area to be. But the price per square footage in St. Louis Park is going to be higher than other areas, say like Chaska or Medina or St. Michael, Albertville, just places that are a little bit farther outside the city. St. Louis Park definitely has a very high price per square footage because it is a very high demand area, but the homes are just not that large. You're getting maybe an 1,800 square foot home, maybe max 2,300 square foot. So smaller home for a lot of money because you're in just a fantastic area. But I 100% recommend checking out St. Louis Park. Just know though that if you're going to be going into that market, it can be very competitive, and just know that going into it. That's something where you need to make offers that are strong, you need to make offers that are quick, because those homes generally don't last that long on the market. Number 2 on our list is going to be Plymouth and Maple Grove. These are so close together. They're on the west side of the metro. I live right now in Plymouth, but they're so close that I kind of just wanted to break them down together. So the average price point in Plymouth, according to niche.com, was $387,000. Average year built was 1987. It got an A+ niche.com grade. When we go look at Maple Grove, the average price point was $342,000 with an average year built of 1991, a grade from niche at just an A, not an A+. Plymouth and Maple Grove are very similar in just the community feel and just the way the homes feel. The only really difference is Maple Grove's a little bit more north, and it's a little bit farther outside of the Minneapolis kind of downtown area, which is why it doesn't maybe get as much demand as Plymouth, because Plymouth is south of Maple Grove and it's easier to get to downtown, it's easier to get to the airport. It's just a little bit closer, but the areas are very, very similar. The homes are all 1987 to 1990s. I mean, they're newer homes. They look very similar. Plymouth homes are sometimes generally a little bit bigger, but I've seen lower price per square footage definitely in Maple Grove. You kind of have a mix of a rural and urban area depending on where you're at, especially if you're more on the west side of those two cities, closer to Medina or Corcoran. Those are some suburbs that are more kind of that rural feel. So you kind of have a little bit of mixture, which is why I like living here. You know, it's easy for me to get access, easy for me to get to downtown, easy for me to get to the airport. I can go to Wayzata, I can go to St. Louis Park. It's easy. I live just north of Medicine Lake, which is a nice lake in Plymouth. If I want to go north to Maple Grove, it's just a really, really awesome spot, centrally located for me. My wife works in Plymouth. It's a really awesome spot for her. So I really do like Plymouth and Maple Grove. Either of those cities are awesome. You're probably gonna get a little bit more bang for your buck in Maple Grove than Plymouth, but you know, Plymouth is still fantastic. Just know that if you're really trying to get the best deal, Maple Grove's going to give you a better deal than most likely Plymouth, in my opinion. Great suburbs, for sure, would recommend checking them out. All right, number 3 on our list, we're going to actually move a little bit more northwest to get a little bit more rural, and we're going to get to actually Albertville, St. Michael. Albertville, St. Michael, average price point is $395,000. The average year built was 1998, and the niche grade is an A. Albertville, St. Michael is a fantastic community. It has newer homes. I mean, 1998. It has usually a little bit larger lot sizes. Albertville, St. Michael is a well-respected school system. The only downfall, though, really is that you are farther out there. You're about 30 to 35 minutes away from downtown, maybe even longer. You're probably 35 to 40 minutes from the airport. So Albertville, St. Michael is a fantastic community if you are willing to have a drive. If you live or if you work in the cities and you want to have a drive and you're okay with that, Albertville, St. Michael is a great spot. The bang for your buck there is really, really good. You can get some really large homes in Albertville, St. Michael for under $400,000, especially under $500,000, whether they're new builds or previously owned with a half acre or an acre or more. It's a really, really good spot if you're wanting a little bit more privacy, wanting a little bit more land, wanting still a city that you can get. You know, it's not like you have to drive 30 minutes to a Target. You know, Albertville, St. Michael has a downtown with coffee shops and groceries and those types of things, but you are farther away from all of the hustle and bustle of the Metro Twin Cities. But Albertville, St. Michael would 100% recommend checking that out if that's kind of what you're looking for, is a house that's a little bit further out there, better bang for your buck, and with still good school district and more privacy. Number 4 on our list now, we are moving south, still in the West Metro, but south into Chaska. Chaska got an A-niche.com grade. The average price point was $365,000, and the average year built was 1987. So mid 300s for average price points, newer homes in the 80s. The nice thing about Chaska right off the bat is that it is in Carver County, and Carver County historically does have lower taxes than, say, Hennepin County. And Hennepin County is the main county where Minneapolis is in. Plymouth, Maple Grove, St. Louis Park, all of those suburbs that we've talked about for the most part are in the large central county of Hennepin. Carver County has lower taxes than Hennepin County. So the homes at, you know, $350, a $350 home in Chaska is going to be lower monthly payment than a house in St. Louis Park at $350, because your taxes are going to be lower in Chaska than they are in St. Louis Park. So bang for your buck there, absolutely. They have really nice homes. They are generally newer built. Again, kind of on that outskirts of the city, so you get a little bit of that rural and urban feel. Chaska can be a bit of a drive to the downtown area, about a 30-35 minute drive there. Probably looking at a 25-30 minute drive to the airport, depending on traffic. But Chaska I see a lot of value here. I do think that you get a lot of bang for your buck in Chaska if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're a first-time seller and you want to try to move from the inner cities to get a little bit more out there. Chaska can be a really, really good spot for you to look at. Generally, the school districts are also really good out there, but I just want to tell you that Chaska, the only thing that's bad about it is that you're kind of far away from the downtown area. You're definitely far from St. Paul, and getting even to St. Louis Park or Wayzata, not the end of the world, but if you're not okay with a 20-30 minute drive, then Chaska might not be the perfect spot for you. Number 5 on our list is Edina. Edina got an A+ niche.com grade, of course. It's one of the most popular suburbs in the state. The average year built there was 1979 with an average price point of $575,000. Edina has one of the best public school systems in the state. Edina is a centrally located suburb that is 10 minutes away from the airport, 10 minutes away from downtown, 10 minutes away from St. Louis Park, 15 minutes away from Wayzata, 20 minutes away from Plymouth Maple Grove, 20 minutes away from Chaska. It's a fantastic centrally located suburb. A lot of different homes in Edina. You're gonna have ramblers, you're gonna have story and a half, you're gonna have 2 stories, you're gonna have new builds, you're gonna have homes where they were previously built, knocked down, and then somebody built their new 2020 or newer dream home per se. An awesome spot if you want to go see more of Edina. Check out my video down here. That was my Edina tour that I did a while back, that I took you through 2 different homes in Edina and kind of drove you through the neighborhood just so that you could get a feel for what it was like. But Edina always ranks as one of the top suburbs, top places to be in the Minneapolis area. So I would highly, highly recommend checking that place out. Number 6 on our list is Eden Prairie. Eden Prairie's overall niche.com grade was an A. Its average price point was $460,000 and its average year built was 1988. Eden Prairie is again on that southwest metro of the cities, a little bit farther northeast than Chaska, so you are closer to the downtown area, you are closer to St. Louis Park, you are closer to the airport, to Wayzata. It's a really sweet spot. Eden Prairie has newer homes, larger homes, 2-story homes, homes with pools, homes with some larger yards. So whatever you're looking for, Eden Prairie can be a really good spot if you're looking for that awesome large home to grow your family in or settle down, whatever you're looking to do. It's a really good spot. Eden Prairie schools are also a really high demand school system. People do want their kids in the Eden Prairie school district. It might not be as high as, say, maybe a Wayzata or Edina from the public school ranking system, but trust me when I say that Eden Prairie is one of those school district systems where people are totally okay sending their kids there. They like it, they want it, they want to move to Eden Prairie because they know that they can get a good bang for their buck there and have their kids be in a nice, safe, awesome public school system. Versus if you went to, Deep Haven or Minnetonka, which we'll get to next, those are some pricier homes generally and might have a better school system like Minnetonka, but Eden Prairie is right next door. You still have basically the same feel as Minnetonka, but the homes just are not as pricier. So Eden Prairie, great spot, which is why I do recommend people check it out if they are thinking of making a move. Number 7 on our list finally is Minnetonka and Deep Haven. Again, I'm gonna group these together similar to Plymouth and Maple Grove because they're so close to each other, and I just wanna make sure that we basically are covering both the cities, because if you look at Minnetonka, Deep Haven is right there, and it's definitely worth checking them both out. I have friends that live in Deep Haven, I have friends that live in Minnetonka. They're both 2 awesome spots. Right off the bat with Minnetonka and Deep Haven, they both scored an A+ niche.com grade. Minnetonka's average price point is $500,000. Their average year built is 1980. Deep Haven's average price point was $555,000 and their average year built was 1959. The thing about Minnetonka and Deep Haven is that the homes are definitely pricier. They're sometimes not as larger. There are some larger homes in Minnetonka and Deep Haven. They're not always as large, and you don't really necessarily get the best bang for your buck because the homes can be a little bit smaller. And you know, that with that average price point being at 500,000 or more, you know, that really does increase that price per square footage. They are fantastic areas in the Minnetonka school system, close to Lake Minnetonka, close to Wayzata, close to St. Louis Park. So really two awesome cities to live in. The other kind of downfall I would say about these two cities is that the homes sometimes have not been updated because people never want to leave these areas. They buy it, whether it's their first home, second home, third home, family home, whatever it may be. They stay there forever and then eventually they sell, but they've never really done much updating. So if you buy it, you know, you're going to be paying 500,000 or more for a home that does need maybe 20, 30, 40, $50,000 of not necessary renovations, but if you want to make it feel more modern and updated, you know, those are good investments to make into the home. But overall, I love those areas, would 100% recommend checking them out. It is a good value spot still. Just know that your price per square footage is going to be higher. Homes are a little bit older and not always as updated, but you're never going to lose money there. That demand is always going to be there. Even if the market tanks tomorrow, Minnetonka and Deep Haven will be a very, very strong real estate market within the state as a whole if we did experience a very, very drastic downfall. All right, so that about does it for today's video. If you have any more questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. And also, if you want to be the first to know about more videos that I release in the future, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. My last word of advice for kind of all of the areas in Minneapolis and the surrounding suburbs, they're all very unique. Some of them are similar, some of them are very different than others, some of them kind of blend together, but really it does take time just to get yourself out there, drive around the areas, drive through some neighborhoods. Instead of just always looking at the data, you know, figure out where you're gonna be working, what sort of things you like to do. Do you like to go out to eat? Do you like to go to gyms? Do you like to go to a lot of coffee shops? Do you want more mom and pop restaurants? Do you want sort of more franchise restaurants? All of those types of questions, rather than just the data, also matter when trying to figure out what's going to be, you know, the right spot for you. I would love to help you kind of answer some of those questions and give you my guidance if I can be of assistance. But again, it does just kind of take some time and some feel to figure out, you know, where you're going to be and where you're going to want to be for the long term. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in today, and we will see you on the next video.